Live with studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching CBS7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW West Texas.
Rain, wind, hail, oh my. Just a few hours ago, a severe storm drenched West Texas, leaving plenty of damage behind. You're looking at some of that damage, everything from fences to signs, shopping carts, and even trees were affected by the storm. Topping our show tonight, we have a weather update from Chief Meteorologist Tom Teeferteller. Thanks for joining us for CBS7 News on the CW, and thanks to those of you joining us live from the CBS7 YouTube. I'm Laura Munt, and I'm joined here tonight with Chief Meteorologist Tom Teeferteller for a little update on all that craziness that we had just a couple hours ago. Tom?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. In fact, we want to thank Ricardo de la Garza for bringing us this video of what looks to be a land spout. Now, this is associated with that severe thunderstorm as it's over towards the Mentone area. What is a land spout? Well, it's a very weak tornado that really doesn't have the same mechanics as a regular tornado, but it is attached to the cloud, and you can see it's dipping on down, kicking up some dust there. And again, this looks like on State Highway 302 west of the Mentone area, before everything got crazy with those storms moving into the Midland, Odessa area. The good news is everything's starting to clear out. Most of the storms are over towards Abilene, San Angelo, dipping down into Crockett County right now and heading off to the east and southeast. The severe thunderstorm watch we had in effect has expired, been canceled really for the time being. Still in effect over towards the Concho Valley, as there's where the thunderstorms are located. We saw a lot of wind gusts up to 71 miles an hour at Schleiermeyer Field, 76 mile an hour gusts out at Midland National Air and Spaceport, gusts to 60 in Midland and 53 in the Big Spring area. So you can see very strong winds even out across parts of the western Permian Basin. The good news is they've calmed down a little bit, especially still a little gusty down across the lower Trans-Pecos, but the gusts have really calmed down. Still some gusts to 46 in the Dryden area. And if you noticed, it was a little chilly out there. It definitely was. We're seeing temperatures upper 50s to low 60s out there at the present time across the Permian Basin. Quieter conditions are on the way, but it looks like a big warm up this weekend. We'll talk about that here in a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Tom. Turning now to a CBS7 exclusive story. It's been almost 2 weeks since the city of Odessa started working to repair a water line break on 42nd and Dawn, and almost 2 years since they had to fix a break that was just down the street from that. Now, the city council is looking for future solutions to prevent this from happening. City employees and contractors worked together to repair the damaged line and the valves that stopped working. Both times, the city had to shut off water. But unlike in 2022, the most recent break wasn't for days, only hours. One contractor and his crew helped replace the valve on Saturday, saying there's an emotional aspect to being in these situations.
The stress wasn't really there, in regards to the digging, but in regards to the public, because we knew we had a lot of people depending on us to get their water back on, mainly businesses,
It's just going, it's stressful, a lot of people are depending on us to get this done and get out and, get water back to the city. And that's our priority, number one priority is get everything back and going.
And although it may take some time, the city took a step forward on Tuesday by starting a utilities valve crew to locate any damaged valves across the city. We'll keep you updated once we learn more. Turning now to continuing coverage on the Ector County Courthouse. Commissioners have voted 3-2 to seek requests for qualifications from companies that can provide design-build services for a new courthouse. The action was taken to prepare for a 2025 bond election, where they hope that voters will agree on a new courthouse, considering that the current one has elevators that don't work, termites, leaky pipes, and has been deemed beyond repair. The last courthouse bond in 2013 failed, and over the next 30 days, the county will receive RFQs and decide on which companies could provide the best design-build services.
And what is unique about this RFQ is it is not your typical procurement process where you hire an architect early on, you let them design it, and then you, on the back end, put that design out for bid, and then a construction team comes in and builds it. Instead, design build brings those two parties in on the very front end as a team.
Commissioners will use that team and their designs to show voters what a new courthouse building could bring, as well as exactly how their tax dollars would be spent.
We need to come up with a design, we need to come up with a plan, we need to come up with an amount, we need to come up with the whole enchilada. Everybody needs to know this is what we're proposing.
Even if the 2025 bond passed, the new courthouse would be finished several years later. In the meantime, commissioners would have voted, to spend more than $900,000 on elevator renovations so that people no longer get stuck in them. We're tracking crime now, where an 8th grade student from Nimitz Middle School has been arrested for having a gun on campus. Crime Stoppers received a tip and notified ECISD police. Officers then found the student and their handgun in her backpack. She was arrested for places weapons prohibited, and the student claims she brought it as protection for someone else. ECISD is asking parents to talk to their children about how dangerous and illegal that it is for them to have a weapon. And a boil water notice is in effect for Gardendale, which operates on a different system than the city of Odessa. Officials there say that a main water line broke early this morning, and crews are working to repair the line as soon as possible. They said that water may be back on for some areas of Gardendale, but it still needs to be boiled before use until further notice. And today was the 95th League of United Latin American Citizens State Convention. It stands for LULAC, which was created in 1928 in South Texas and made its way to Odessa in 1989. It has been here ever since. LULAC is a way to educate Hispanics on the current economic condition, educational attainment, political influence, housing, health, and civil rights of Hispanic Americans through community-based programs.
Here in the Permian Basin, we need to educate people on that it takes voters, it takes votes to change the system. There is no other way to even participate. We have to get out, get registered to vote, and actually deliver the vote. The change would be tremendous.
LULAC has more than 138,000 members and supporters across the U.S. and Puerto Rico. Turning now to a CBS7 special report. Living to be 95 years old is quite the accomplishment, but one Big Spring woman decided it was the perfect time to go back to school. Jacob Brandenburg tells her story that proves it's never too late to graduate.
Do you hear that? Students across West Texas are graduating this month, including one who got her degree about 75 years later than expected. Margie Ward is 95 years old.
Well, I don't feel 95.
What do you feel?
Not that old.
Not that old. A few weeks ago, this great-grandmother earned her GED through Howard College, the equivalent of the high school diploma that she never got. When you got that GED, when you graduated, how did that feel?
Oh, awesome. It was really nice. We really had a party.
It was a party 8 decades in the making. She doesn't remember exactly, but Margie says she quit school somewhere between 5th and 7th grade. She waited tables and worked as a car hop. Eventually, she settled in Big Spring and married Bill Ward. For nearly 70 years, together they ran Ward's Western Wear.
I grew up in Big Spring as well, and I can remember as a child going to Ward's Boots and Saddle, and she was very businesslike. In fact, I told her I was scared of her because she meant business, and and not that I was planning on acting up, but I knew that I better not.
With the store handed down and nearing 100 years of age at a retirement home, Margie decided it was finally time to finish school.
Her dream had been to get her high school education.
So every morning, one of the nurses would drive Margie to class.
She was in class at 7:40 every morning. I had to start setting an alarm to make sure I got there first because class doesn't actually start until 8 o'clock. But she was afraid she was going to be late.
I was surprised at her age. And I was like, what is she doing here? But if she can do it, so can I.
She's a character. She brings joy, knowing that she can do it, it just let me know and give me more motivation for myself to be able to get this done.
What did you like learning about the most?
Oh, I guess the math part. Because I really excel in math.
Okay, really good at math. Not afraid to tell us that either.
No, I was real good at math.
Adult education and learning programs like Margie's can be found across the nation and at multiple schools here in the Permian Basin.
It's actually a federal grant that's issued across every state, and then the state issues it out and to different entities across the state. And Howard College, Midland College, and Odessa College all have the AEL grant.
Literally, we taught some students, adults, how to write their names, to read for the first time, maybe to speak English, and then those that also would get their GED. So it's a great program.
I was an adult single mother when I went back to school and finished, and so I can see that it takes a little more when you're in those positions and you have to work for it, but it is possible.
While her classmates will start careers or go to college, Margie isn't sure what her next step is. But maybe her work is already done.
I've got 3 students right now that are in line for completing their GED because of her persistence.
That's what you want to be when you're 95. You want to be able to do something special like that.
Knowing that I reached my goal and I did what I said I was going to do, and it's showing the potential that I have that a lot of people didn't see.
When a person is watching this, hopefully they will be inspired by Margie. Margie just makes it very clear there is no usual time of life. Whenever you want to do it, get it done.
Miss Margie, she is an awesome person and she inspired a lot of people. And I want to do the same.
Give it a try. Yeah. Always go back to school. I don't think you learn enough.
You said you don't think you can learn enough?
Do you?
I don't. I think you're right. And good luck being the one to tell Margie she's wrong or that she can't do something. In Big Spring, Jacob Brandenburg, CBS7 First Alert News.
Looking in the community now, the Midland Soup Kitchen is in need of donations in order to complete the interior renovations of their building. Once an old YMCA building, the building is in need of major upgrades. The Soup Kitchen needs to raise $200,000, with half of that being for phase 1 of the renovations. They've already raised $50,000, and they've added a fresh coat of paint to the interior, and they're working on upgrading their stage area to be safer. The need to expand the building comes as the number of people coming to the Soup Kitchen increases.
We're seeing such an influx of people that we're seeing on a daily basis that we're feeding, with the more immigrants that are coming in, with people that are really on some hard terms. So we're really expanding what we can do. We're expanding what it looks like, making it more inclusive for anybody that comes in.
The Midland Soup Kitchen hopes to have the renovation completed by November for their Thanksgiving dinner event. Still ahead, Odessa College is introducing 2 new automotive programs this fall. We'll tell you all about them up next. Let's take a look at some education news now. Odessa College has announced 2 new automotive programs. They'll start this fall. The Odessa College Sewell Autotech facility will offer the General Motors Automotive Service Education Program. It's GMA-SEP for short. And then they'll offer the Kubota Tech Program. The GMA-SEP program will provide students with skills and knowledge that is needed for careers as automotive technicians, while the Kubota Tech program would educate students on diesel, tractor, and construction maintenance, as well as repair techniques.
This is a dream come true. I am super, super excited about the announcement. I can't wait to start seeing students fill this through the day. Not only our dual credit, which we have about 200 of those 200 high school students daily come through these doors, but also the adults that it's going to change lives with.
Both GMA-SEP and Kubota Tech program students will receive additional benefits like major tool discounts and tuition reimbursement.
Well, we are going to be looking at things quieting down weather-wise here over the next few days, but temperatures, they're going to go up. We're going to talk about that, how it's going to impact the weekend, coming up next.
Now, from the CBS7 First Alert Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, let's take a look outside on a live iCam in Odessa. Quieter evening out there after seeing the up to golf ball size hail. Wind gusts up to 60 to 70 miles an hour plus across the area. We're seeing things finally calm down, and the current winds out there across the area, well, they are starting to calm down too. Out of the north, up to 10 to 15 miles an hour, still strongest down here towards the Dryden area, but all those gusts we had earlier have really calmed down. Still a little strong there down towards the Dryden area, gusts to 46 miles an hour. Take a look at the weather makers right now. We are seeing that we do have a big trough of low pressure moving right across portions of West Texas, caused all the severe weather as it did roll across. Also, Houston being slammed by winds in excess of 100 miles an hour, causing tremendous amounts of damage in downtown Houston and to the north and northwest of downtown. Numerous power outages, nearly 1 million people, million customers, I should say, at Centerpoint without power right now in the Houston area as severe storms rolled across and to the east. That activity is now into portions of south central Louisiana. We still have a couple of thunder showers out there moving across the big country, the Concho Valley. but it looks like everything is weakening as this front is finally starting to move down. And as it does move, we're already going to see a much nicer day on the way tomorrow. We saw a big time clash of the air masses with temperatures into the 70s behind that front, ahead of it all the way up to 104 degrees in and around Del Rio. Now, take a look at the futurecast. Maybe a couple of clouds overnight tonight should really be about it, but we're going to be looking at pretty quiet conditions. There will be some isolated showers, thunder showers, primarily into the mountain areas, southeast portions of the lower Trans-Pecos, and moving off to the east, but everything's going to be driven there by daytime heating. So once we lose that, we're going to see everything wind down, and moving the clock ahead towards Saturday, things look rather quiet. It looks like it's going to be a nice day on Saturday, but those temperatures are going to heat up quite a bit as high pressure builds in. So quiet tonight, a little on the cool side. We're going to stay in the upper 50s to mid 50s out there. I think we're done with thunderstorms for tonight as we carry a drier north wind. Northwest wind tomorrow is going to make for a pleasant day across most areas, but still hanging on to those 90s down towards the Presidio area. Your CBS 7 First Alert exclusive 10-day forecast. There's your big warm-up for Armed Forces Day on Saturday, continuing into Sunday, where we could see triple digits across the Midland-Odessa area for the first time in 2024. Triple digits stay with us on Monday. Another front in the forecast, middle part of next week, but right now only slim chances of rain expected.
As the weather warms up, more people are starting to get ready for vacation. How the TSA is planning to tackle the summer travelers up next. The Transportation Security Administration says it's ready for the busiest summer travel season ever, beginning with the upcoming Memorial Day holiday. Between May 23rd to May 29th, the TSA expects to screen more than 18 million passengers at airport checkpoints nationwide. Next Friday, May 24th, is forecast to be the busiest day of the long Memorial Day weekend, with 3 million people expected to fly. And the agency says the summer will be even busier.
There will be some days this summer that we will likely see 3 million travelers, in our screening checkpoints across the country. Our current record is about 2.9 million, but we expect 3 or 3.1 million travelers, most likely during the busiest days during the core of the summer in July and early part of August.
Already this year, the TSA says that passenger travel is up 8%. 7 of the 10 busiest passenger screening days in TSA history have been in the past 12 months, 2 of them last week. All right, Tom, before we go, it was 10 years ago that the Ice Bucket Challenge, I know it feels like a while, that the Ice Bucket Challenge first gained popularity. Now, to celebrate that anniversary, staff at Cubata, which we just talked about, the OC, decided to bring their own unique twist to it. Take a look.
You ready or not?
What a fun way to use
I feel
the
cold and
equipment.
chilly.
The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge promotes awareness of Lou Gehrig's disease and encourages donations to research. I mean, they're definitely going to be quite cold, especially with the temperatures we had today, right? We had some of that basically right outside.
They should have waited until this weekend.
Waited like 20 minutes. They would have had the hail that we had a couple hours ago.
They would have waited and done this weekend, we're going to see temperatures in triple digits, so that'll feel good.
Felt better than what they
feel a lot better.
chillier than it was today. Thanks for joining us tonight for CBS7 News at 9 on this W. We've got more news coming up tonight at 10.